Hi, welcome to the second weekend reading vlog of the month. I did just give myself Korean Banks Day. Well, my sister did. I've been fighting the urge for a while. I did it. I bit the bullet, and here we are. Weekend reading vlog where I read a book in a weekend. Because girl reading big vlog series, hoping to do it in one day. We will see what book is picked on the wheel. We're doing wheel this month. I may continue to do the wheel. I did go through the process of doing the TBR jar like a month ago, setting it up, and I may say fucking just do the wheel because I'm liking it. Okay, let me live my life. The wheel currently is full of a bunch of books that are sequels in series that I'm in the middle of, because a girl needs to work on that. A girl is going through it. It is the same exact list as the last one, except it is the now fourth book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. There we go. And then Hellbent is added because my loan just came in for that, and it is planned for like the bigger vlog that comes out, I think, the Wednesday after this. Because I am filming this intro ahead of time. So, but I can like easily replace that with something else. Because that prompt is just to continue a series. So, easy enough if you can't see this freaking wheel. And then also my copy of the Lost Metal, the last Mistborn book, at least for now, because I think there's supposed to be an Era 3 at some point. That just came in like yesterday. So she's thick. She's thicker than I expected. I fear she will be labeled or picked. But yeah, that's the plan. Or those are the, but yeah, those are the added ones. So now we're at 13 books on this list. And again, Yone of the Dawn, if it lands on that, I'm just gonna read as many as I can in 24 hours probably. So unless, you know what, if Yone of the Dawn is the one, I may just do it. I was not gonna film this Super Bowl weekend, but I may just film it Super Bowl weekend, and then, because I'm into football now for some fucking reason, because that's just, I'll do it over 2 days instead of the one that I would have just done for Yone of the Dawn, and just read as many volumes as I can. I have a great fucking time, honestly. I contemplated changing the colors, but I didn't, and we're fine with that. We're fine with that. Okay, spinning wheel time. Let's go, so I can figure out what book to get from the library. / put on hold in case. I didn't double check if they were available. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. I was going through my TBR in general, and I saw it on there earlier this morning, and I was like, maybe I should like read that book. In case you don't know what this series is, I read, is it My Lady Jane? I think is the first one, which there was a TV show adaptation that I have seen the first episode of. I haven't finished it. But it seemed to be like pretty popular. Like most people who have seen it, really liked it. And then it was immediately canceled. So that's great. I have seen clips here and there, and it does seem like something I would enjoy. I can stop the recording of the wheel. So that is a thing. That is a thing. It's about different Janes in history, or also fiction. I don't quote me on that. It's like historical retelling, but comedy. Right, like the first one, I was laughing a lot. Okay, yeah, this is the one that is based off of fiction, which is the Jane in this one is a trilogy. There's another one that I think is Mary's history or historical fiction. This one's Jane's. The first one was an English queen, technically. This one is Jane Eyre. Right? Apparently they don't actually have anything to do with each other, as far as I can tell reading the synopsis, because the first one had to do, like, I think it's I think it's something like that, where they can turn into animals and stuff like that. And it was secretly political drama, but also a romance. This one is a ghost hunting with Jane Eyre, aspiring author Charlotte Bronte, and supernatural investigator Alexander Blackwood. Drawn together on the most epic ghost hunt this side of Wuthering Heights. Oh, girl, I'm gonna have a good time. I haven't read Wuthering Heights yet. I should do that this year. Anyways, I'm gonna have fun with this. I can already see this. And I love that for me personally, and then also be more than, I only have one more book in the series, which is great because girl needs help, girl needs help. Anyways, what's the plan for this? Of course, someone just borrowed the ebook. No, I'll place it on hold. It's not that big of a deal. It's like a 2-week wait. So by the time I have to film this, I should have it. Because I think I'm first in line. Never mind, I'm third in line. That being said, they are fast reads, so we can do that. We could do it. If all else fails, I think I also have access to it on Hoopla. I do. I can just do the audio on Hoopla if I have to. Should I put the audiobook on hold as well? Might as well. Alright. That's what I'm gonna read for this vlog that I'm not actually filming and reading for a little bit, but that's that. I'll see you when the weekend I actually have to read for this happens. Right? Yeah. I'd like you to know, before I filmed the intro to this, I did not know people were gonna be away all weekend. So fine, I can stay up until midnight and read this if I have to. I'm not going to. I'm gonna try to read it all today. Today being Saturday. That is the plan. Because that's accidentally what I did with the first one. I accidentally read that one in all one day and I had a great time. This one, I'm feeling kind of mid about. I'm 265 pages in, just short of 2/3 the way through. There we go. By the by. And I'm feeling fine about it. It just feels weird because it is combining both historical figures with fictional characters that those historical figures created. Like Jane Eyre and Charlotte Bronte are best friends, and I knew this from the synopsis, and I was worried about it. And I was right to be worried about it because I'm not sure how I feel about it. It just feels weird, right? So they're best friends, and it's like Jane Eyre is living through the experiences that inspired Charlotte to write Jane Eyre. That is what seems to be happening, right? One thing I will give this book props for, ghosts in Jane Eyre, it kind of just makes sense. It kind of just makes sense. It's not even like spooky, scary ghosts. There's like definitely mysteries going on, murder mysteries, weird things. But for the most part, it's just like the most of ghosts we've seen is her best friend who happens to be a ghost, James. And so, like, her just hanging out with this girl who died of a sickness when she was young, right? And so we don't see much of, like, the crazy weird ghosts. I wonder, so we just saw that there's this magical room that can keep objects that has ghosts in them, in it. And so the ghost can't leave. And then there was a weird thing with a room that a ghost, or that, well, her ghost friend couldn't go through the wall, which was weird. That was suspicious. And there was something banging on the other side of the door. So I'm thinking that was Rochester's wife. We know from Jane Eyre, Rochester's wife, in the original, wasn't dead, but was mad. And he kept her locked in the walls in the attic. Because that's a normal thing to do. While hitting on his employee. Right? So I'm wondering if she is a ghost and has to be kept in the walls or something. Also, it seems Rochester may have something to do with Blackwell's father's death. And I like Blackwell because Blackwell is I think he's a new addition. I'm like 98% sure. He's not in the original, and he's like Charlotte's love interest, right? But also in Hear Me Out, the way he treats Jane, I'm like, is this gonna be a wide choose? Like, what is happening? Right, the way that he seems to be so enamored by her. Maybe that's just because she's like a special kind of seer of ghosts and whatnot. And he's really big into the society and all this fun stuff. But also, the head of the society, I also don't trust, and he seems to have a connection with Rochester. So, I think there's like a conspiracy going on with the death of Blackwell's father. And they took him in and raised him as his own to like indoctrinate him into the society. And James right about the society being suspicious. Right? The comedy isn't the same in this one. That's part of the reason why I really love the first one, is because the way they wrote the jokes was just a great time. Maybe it's not Victorian England, is it? I don't think so. But like being I need to look this up now. So I think the aspect, I don't know the exact terms. Oh my god, she was only 17 when she died. Lady Jane from the first one. I don't know the exact terms of the time period exactly, right? But the first one took place in mid 1500s. This one takes place in the mid or early 1800s. So there's like a 300-year time difference, right? And so in the 1500s, with this fancy aspect, it like the comedy worked better. But in London, the city, with like the era of Jane Austen, it doesn't like click. Thank you very much. That's my issue. It doesn't click the same. Also with the fact that the magic in this one is ghosts, it's something naturally darker than the first one. Like, yes, people were being murdered and tortured in the first one. But also, like, it was so fantastical and cool, and the, like, you're turning into animals, and, how the comedy used that in, like, that was used as part of the comedy. And this is, like, how do you use the fact that a bunch of children were abused, and because of that, they died? And so now there's a bunch of ghost children. Like, how do you make that a joke? They do some of the same joke style here and there, and I do like some of them. It just doesn't hit the same. So that's my main, that, and the fact that it just feels weird. It just feels weird. Are my issues. I'm gonna go finish it. Am I tired? Yes. Yes, I am. Thank you for asking. What time is it? 3:30. I'm just gonna drink my matcha. I did have like 6 cups of coffee last night. I also have not been sleeping well, and also I don't have any other excuse. I haven't been sleeping well. The end. But I'm gonna finish this, and then maybe play Stardew. Everyone's playing Stardew, and I want to play. Anyways, goodbye. I'm gonna go do that. How much longer do I have in the audiobook? I'm still reading it. I managed to get my hands on the audiobook. I would like, right after I filmed the intro, I remember that day being like, maybe it'll come in time. Literally later that day, before I went to bed, I got them. Like, as I was laying down into bed, I got them, both of them. So I'm doing both audio in the ebook. I have 4 hours, so that's about just over an hour in me speed in the audiobook. Let's go. I don't know if I'm gonna read the next series, because there's like one more in this series, and I'll read it. But I don't know if I'm gonna read the Mary version, because there's a trilogy that's the same thing but Mary's, which I like the idea of it. It seems cool, like an anthology series where it's not actually connected, but except for the fact that the characters have the same name, and the main character does. There's some weird magical aspect, and it's got the same brand of comedy. in this historical setting, like modern comedy in a historical setting. Like, I like the idea of that, but I don't know if it in practice is working for me. I don't know. I still stand by it. The first one being really good. I recommend. I almost said I finished my Calamity Jane. No, that's the third one in the series. I did not finish that one. I finished the Jane Eyre one. I don't know. My something. I finished it. 3 stars less than we all expected it. Was my favorite part. When they have to go fight the king because the king's possessed, don't ask. And so they're in the palace, and while in the palace, they meet a woman in a red gown and her husband who turns into a horse, which then freaks, as ghosts, they're ghosts, which freaks a bunch of people out because you just saw a man turn into a horse, which means they are the same universe. That was the best part. That was the best part because I got confirmed it was the same universe, which makes me wonder if members of the English society, upper society, have dormant animal turning genes. Anyways, I don't know if it's because Blackwell's first name was Alexander. My Plain Janes, that's what it was. I don't know if because his name was Alexander, or if it's because I recently reread Ninth House, and I'm thinking about it because I know soon I'm gonna, like, 3 books from now. Honestly, let me check. Yeah, literally 3 books from now, I'm gonna be reading Hellbent. But it reminded me a lot of Ninth House. The ghost part in general, it's not, there may be a genetic aspect in it, honestly, because they were like, maybe it's like a dormant thing where the gene that makes it so they turn to animals over time, I'm trying to think of words, but over time changed, so that instead of turning to animals, you see dead people. Because it was kind of genetic, where if you are, like, the whole way you can see ghosts is if you die and then come back to life, but only sometimes. And it was a thing where multiple members of this one family, like, they're distantly related, but they are related, can see ghosts, that, like, multiple people who have gone through this. Anyways, also, I really like the part where, the bad guy thought that Jane and Blackwell were in love, and he's all like, you always talk about how great she is at her job, and he's like, yeah, 'cause she's great at her job. What the hell? And he's like, and she's all like, no, I have this weird thing dealing with the fact that the guy I was in love with was possessed by his evil brother and had locked up his wife in the attic and forcefully tried to make me marry him by making me possessed by another woman. And he was clearly into Charlotte, cough cough, obviously. They're not, like, confirmed together, but they did briefly kiss. That's another thing. The romance in My Lady Jane was much better. So there's that. Was it kind of predictable at points? Yes. Did I still like it? Like, yeah, it was still well written. I want to know how the next one is connected. Like, are they possibly, like, great descendants? Is 1876 in the next one? So it's only about 50 years later. About Calamity Jane, I knew this. In America, that's gonna be interesting. We're going from, I guess it was Victorian England. Was it Victorian England? There was a whole thing where they were talking about Queen Victoria previously. Because they were like, no woman can rule, because the next era, there was a whole thing of threatening to kill the king. The next era is a woman. They're like, no woman can rule the country. And one, they just saw Jane Grey's ghost, and she was queen, briefly, but queen. But 2, Queen Victoria, So, but I don't know. But going from like 1500s England to then early 1800s London to now late 1800s America with gunslingers, and it's given very Western vibes. I mean, that makes sense because Calamity Jane. Okay, yeah, it literally says Wild West right there. Is this werewolves? But what? No, because like there's almost so Annie Oakley. What? Okay, yeah, the term they used, I looked it up, and one of the definitions is basically a werewolf, so that's interesting. Yeah, Annie Oakley is here, so that's fun. There's a romance. It's gonna be 2 female characters and 1 guy main character with a romance again, which was not my favorite part. If we're gonna do that, make it a throuple. Anyways, yeah, apparently they go hunting werewolves and she wakes up with a werewolf bite, I guess. What? That seems intriguing, actually. These books are really weird. Though it only has a 3.5 average rating, though it only has 7,000 ratings. It's like a tenth of the first one. So we'll see how that one goes. I don't know how I feel about that one. Also, I want to know if it's further connected. Okay, that sounds very interesting. And whatnot. I'm tired. This is all I've done today. I did play Stardew for like an hour and a half with friends. But this is basically all I've done today. And I'm tired. I did stream accidentally for almost 12 hours. What am I talking about? That, but I did it. I read it. 3 stars. Wasn't as good as the first one. That was fine. I'll finish the series. I think I'm gonna end after this series. Okay, let me look at the Mary series and see if, I was gonna say, if it follows anybody who I enjoy knowing about, I'll look into it. And then I remember this when I was reading My Lady Jane, that weekend reading vlog. I looked into the first one is Mary Queen of Scots, which is kind of interesting because, My Lady Jane, Mary Queen of Scots is in it. So if this is also part of the same universe. Like, I assumed it wasn't gonna be the same universe because I expected the books to have, like, no connection other than the fact that they're all named Jane and have the same authors. But no, it's confirmed same universe for at least that series. So, and then the next one's Mary Shelley. If you know anything about me, I love Mary Queen of Scots. And I love Frankenstein. Okay, so they may be a part of the same universe, because in the synopsis for the Queen of Scots one, it says that she's a mouse. So they may be connected, actually. What's the last one? Wait a second. Is this the pirate queen I know of? There's I think I've heard of her. There's like 4 or 5 female pirates that I know of. A good amount of detail about. So I think she's one of them. And I think that one's mermaids. Interesting thing about this, the first in the series both have to do with turning into animals. Second in the series have to do with the dead of some kind, ghosts. And then in the Mary series, it's taking dead bodies to build them. Man, we know Frankenstein. Third one has to do with humans turning into not animals but beasts, kind of. So we got werewolves, but we also got mermaid. So they're, instead of turning into animals specifically, they turn into supernatural beasts. Interesting. I may actually read that series because I'm intrigued by all 3 of those. The center focused of all 3 of those. Are people playing Stardew Valley again? Suddenly very important. Anyways, I rated it 3 stars. None of this end research was important. We'll see if I keep it in. I don't even think it's gonna have fun. I'm tired. I still have coffee I'm drinking. It's nearly 9 p.m. and I think I'm playing Stardew Valley again. I'm just gonna click the button to click play. This has been fun. We love this. I'm pretty sure there's another one of these next month. Only one weekend revlog. Literally just got the text message that they're about to do it. So yeah, that's a thing. Normally what happens is Wednesday's gaming videos from me streaming. Stardew one coming up. Actually, not the next one, but the one after that will be a Stardew one. The next one is the last of the Planet Crafter. And then Saturdays are booktube videos, these videos. Except because the way that the month is set up of February, and the last booktube video for February is very February specific, and how the day set up, it's going up Wednesday instead, and Saturday is the gaming video, and then it goes back to the normal way. Every other Friday is the podcast. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's one the week that, no, there's not one the week this goes up. This is the in-between week. So, there was one last week. There's going to be one next week. My hands, can you tell the eczema's acting up? It's fine. I'm going to go play Stardew Valley with friends. I'm very excited. I'm going to drink my coffee and have a good time. Good night until the next video. Please watch it, because that's the big boy that's taking me forever to do. Please watch. It's going to take me 60 hours to edit. Please, 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 for the love of God, please.